One of the quieter truths about human development is that emotional growth does not automatically follow time. We can age physically, build careers, raise families, move through decades of life, and still respond to disappointment with the emotional reflexes of a child. At the same time, some people reach adulthood early, not because life was easy, but because awareness arrived sooner than comfort. Age, in this sense, is not the measure. Reaction is. There is a simple question that reveals our emotional age more accurately than any biography. When someone we depend on emotionally disappoints us, lets us down, or leaves us uncertain, how do we respond? Before language intervenes, inside the body, three fundamental reactions emerge. They appear different on the surface, but each points to the same underlying fragility. The first is silence. We withdraw. We grow quiet. Not because we are calm, but because speaking feels too dangerous. Explaining the hurt would require admitting that we were affected, that something touched us, that someone had power, and that feels intolerable. So we hope, quietly, that the other person will somehow understand, that they will guess, that they will repair the rupture, without us having to expose ourselves. This is the logic of infancy, before language, before trust in being understood. Silence here is not dignity, it is fear, without words. The second response is rage. Disappointment explodes outward. Anger fills the space where vulnerability would have been. The fury can look strong, decisive, commanding. But true strength does not need to roar. Disproportionate anger is not confidence. It is panic, disguised as power. Beneath the sharp words, the certainty, the volume, there is someone who feels unmoored, frightened, and suddenly very small. The noise is not dominance, it is defense. The third response is coldness. A wall goes up. Emotion shuts down. Indifference is performed, sometimes convincingly. At the precise moment when someone's behavior hurts us most, we insist it does not matter. We didn't care anyway. We barely noticed. We're unaffected. For some, remaining in contact with pain has become unbearable. Numbness feels safer than aliveness. Distance feels safer than needing. Silence, rage, and coldness. These are not moral failures. They are signals. They point us toward what emotional maturity actually requires. Emotional maturity is not the absence of pain. It is the capacity to meet pain consciously. It rests on three abilities. The first is the ability to explain, to speak calmly to the person who has hurt us, to trust that our suffering is not ridiculous, not shameful, not something to hide, and to remember, even under stress, that the other person is not automatically the enemy. Simple in theory, an achievement in practice. The second ability is calm, not passivity, not submission, but restraint. The mature understand that strength does not vanish because it is delayed. This knowledge allows them to slow down, to question their first interpretation, to give others the benefit of the doubt. They do not secretly believe that everyone is waiting to diminish them. They trust themselves enough not to rush into war. The third ability is vulnerability. To admit without drama that closeness means exposure, that love gives others leverage, that hurt is not weakness, but the cost of attachment. The mature do not romanticize this. They accept it. They possess enough inner stability to to remain present with their own wounds, without fleeing from them. They are unashamed of emotional nakedness. Their tears are not evidence of failure, only of humanity. Communication, calm, vulnerability. These are the three quiet virtues of emotional adulthood. Some of us learned them early, through warmth, patience, and emotionally literate environments. Others did not. And this difference matters. Learning emotional maturity as an adult is like learning a foreign language late in life. Nothing is impossible, but nothing is automatic. Accent remains. Effort is required. Misunderstandings occur. Progress is slow. And there is no shortcut. There is also no shame. Many of us grew up without hearing emotionally mature speech. We did not witness adults naming feelings without violence, holding boundaries without cruelty, or expressing need without collapse. This is not a flaw, it is an inheritance. Emotional maturity is learned through repetition, attention, and patience, through thousands of small moments where impulse is noticed, not obeyed, where reaction is paused and response is chosen. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming conscious, about recognizing that the way we first learned love does not have to be the way we continue it. And that growth often begins when we stop asking, "How do I protect myself from pain?" and start asking, "How do I remain present without losing myself?" Emotional maturity is not a personality trait. It is a discipline practiced quietly over time. Whenever life gives us the chance to respond differently than we once did,